If you're a pop culture junkie who loves TV, film, music, comedy, and other really important stuff, then you've come to the right place. Get ready and settle in for Classic Conversations, the best pop culture interviews in the world. That's right, we circled the globe so you don't have to. If you're ready to be the king of the water cooler, then you're ready for Classic Conversations with your host, Jeff Dwoskin.
All right, Carol, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. You get the show going each and every week, and this week was no exception. Welcome, everybody. It's episode 315 of Classic Conversations. As always, I am your host, Jeff Dwoskin. Welcome to what's sure to be the best bonus family episode ever. Michaela Watkins is here, and today we're talking dinner with the parents. Now, I haven't done a Thursday episode in a long time, but Dinner with the Parents, it was released on the 18th. I got to meet with John Beckerman, and when I love a show, I try to talk to as many people from that show as well. If you look at my show history, I had a bunch of people from Happy Days, Love Boat, The Orville. You get it, you know. Anyway, so I love Dinner with the Parents. Honestly, loved it. I got a chance to have a quick conversation with Michaela Watkins on the show's launch day last week. And by the way, I'm declaring this the Passover episode, the official Passover episode of Classic Conversations. Michaela and I ended up sharing some family stories during the interview. Anyway, I'm excited for you to hear this conversation. Don't miss John Beckerman, showrunner, creator of Dinner with the Parents. Talked to him earlier this week. That's an awesome one also. But right now, here's a little bonus episode for you, the star of Dinner with the Parents, Michaela Watkins. Enjoy. All right, everyone, I'm excited to introduce my next guest. Loved her in Casual, Benched, Wet Hot American Summer, First Day of Camp, and now starring in Dinner with the Parents. Welcome to the show, Michaela Watkins.
Hi.
How are you?
Thank you for having me. Can you hear me okay and all that jazz?
I can hear you okay and all that jazz.
Okay, great.
I was so excited when to be reminded that you were in the Wet Hot American Summer First Day of Camp.
Oh, God, I am such a fan of all of David Wayne's stuff, but yeah, that one is just, they just have always, all those guys from the state just have their own brand of humor that is irreplicable.
I loved it. I mean, when I discovered the movie and then they brought it back and then it's just them playing. There's just something so funny about it. And then to get that cast back, it's just,
yeah.
Michaela, I watched all of Dinner with the Parents.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. When I talked to John Beckerman and I was like, usually I'll watch an episode or two to get a feel for it. And I was like, I just got sucked right in.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. My first review is from you right now.
Oh, well, then allow me to continue. I think you're going down as one of the funniest TV moms ever.
Oh, Bud, that is so nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I mentioned this to John too, but it was like when I'm watching the show, I think about halfway through, I realized, wait a minute, I'm as old as the parents. This is the first time I'm watching a show. And I'm the parents. And I'm like, it was like a mental, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Tell me about it. I don't even have kids. So, all of a sudden I'm playing a mom of these two grown boys. And I'm like, wait, what? That's who I would be if I had kids? Is that happening? Really? Because, we all see ourselves as I don't know. What age do you think you are? If no one told you your actual age, what age do you feel like you are?
Oh, do I feel?
Yeah.
Probably still in my 30s.
Me too. I'd be 39, maybe 38.
Yeah. Same.
I used to say 33 or 4, but I think I've graduated to 39.
I hear you. Right. It doesn't compute in my head that mentally I'm of the age and have kids that old.
Yeah. And I know my mom doesn't feel 87. I know my mom thinks she's 30 years old, I think.
I know. I say that to my wife all the time. She's like, I cannot believe that, we have a 22-year-old and a 25-year-old. And I'm like, how does you think your mom feels?
Yeah.
Your mom's like, I have a 50-year-old.
No, my sister's oldest son just had a baby. And I'm like, that makes me a great aunt. What? How? Yes, she's older than me. So I was, pretty young when her son was born. But he just had a baby. So my sister's a grandmother? How? on earth? It's just weird. Anyway, this is boring. I'm sorry that we're talking about age. Age is beautiful. It's a blessing. It's a privilege. It's a gift.
It's a gift. So, well, since we're diving a little into dinner with the parents, so I just give everyone, this is on Amazon Freebie. It's about a Jewish family and the sons that come home every Shabbat to have Friday night dinner.
Yeah. And it never goes according to plan, ever.
What kind of drew you to this?
I like comedy. I like to laugh. I like to make people laugh. I read one of the scripts. It wasn't the pilot script, interestingly. I think it's the second or third script. Maybe that was the first one I read. And I just thought I could do something with this. And also it's shot in England. I like England a lot. I like jobs. And I like
You like working.
Yeah, I like working. I like being able to pay my bills. And I met John Beckerman, who's the creator, and I really liked him. I just thought he was so awesome. And he told me they were like probably going to offer it to Dan Bakkedahl to play Harvey, my husband, in the show. And I've worked with Dan before, and I just thought so much of a job for me is, do I enjoy going into work and being with the people I would be with all day? That is such a huge part of saying yes to things. I know people just think, well, if the script's funny or blah, 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 maybe that's enough. But no, I have to imagine that when I go to work, I'm going to be happy to be there. And that's what it was. Carol Kane, she's a legend. But all these people came on after. So I didn't know who was necessarily going to be in it, just Dan. And that was enough for me.
Well, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
You make a hilarious couple. What was it like working with Carol Kane? Like a legend.
Surreal, because I grew up watching her. And she's uniquely funny. She's got this unique voice that I love to imitate her. I'm not sure she likes it when I do, but I can't help myself, so I do it all the time. She's a love, she's just a loving lady, and we became good friends.
Oh, you just reminded me of something. So speaking of doing imitations, so I was watching, I know Henry Hall plays your son on this, and he's amazing. And he's Julie Louis-Dreyfus and Brad Hall's son. Mm-hmm. And I was watching, as I was digging in, as I was stalking you on YouTube and such, I found a clip with you and Julia on The View, promoting a movie that you were doing together. But my question is, when you were there and they played you doing Barbara Walters from Saturday Night Live, the uncomfortable part, well, it was funny because they're like, you're doing Barbara Walters on The View. Not there, obviously, but like the idea of sitting there and then Fred Armisen is Joy Behar and then Keenan was Whoopi. I was like, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And watching her watch Fred Armisen do an impression of her is probably not I remember I did Hoda Kotb on SNL, and she said that she was just glad Kenan Thompson didn't end up doing her. So
you
she
were
wasn't
great, Hoda.
Thank you.
How you could constantly stay with a straight face with Kristen Wiig doing Kathy Lee.
I love playing opposite Kristen. I long to do it again. It's been too long. Makes me sad. I want to do it again.
Have her on season 2 of Dinner with the Parents.
There we go.
Sorry to interrupt. Hope you're enjoying this bonus episode of Classic Conversations. Just want to take a quick second. Thank everyone for their support of the sponsors. When you support the sponsors, you're supporting us here at Classic Conversations, and that's how we keep the lights on. And now back to my conversation with Michaela Watkins. Did you watch the original UK version of Friday Night Dinner?
My husband's like, when they offered it, he's like, you should watch the UK version. And I was like, that would make a lot of sense. And he put it on and I was howling. I thought it was so funny, but I also can't watch it because, I'm about to probably say yes to this job and play Jane. And I can't have somebody else's interpretation in my head. So I had to stop, which was unfortunate because I really enjoyed watching that show.
Are you waiting to hear, because people are going to compare, they compared when The Office, because that show in the UK was pretty popular, right? I mean, I don't think there's anything to worry about. You guys knocked it out of the park.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure people who, when you I don't want to watch the Canadian version of Succession. It's just, there's only one Succession for me. So I just feel like, of course, I'm bracing myself for people to make a comparison and to feel really like that their beloved show has been hijacked by Americans and turned into a bad thing or something. But what can you do? It's like we made it. Now it's out there in the world and I can't control it. So just have to let it be what it is.
I think they'll both stand on their
We're
own.
not like curing cancer. We're just making a comedy. So, like, if people take it too seriously, I just want to say, calm down.
Exactly. How much did you draw on your own Jewish background growing up in the character or any of the circumstances? Or
We were not this kind of Jewish family. First of all, my parents were divorced. So, like, we weren't even really a unit anyway. But my mom, not religious at all. My dad got very religious after they divorced, which was very surreal and weird. So, yes, like, I understand and I know the traditions and I know, like, I think there's really funny stuff there's a Passover episode, like a Shiva where someone dies. And I think those are really fun, funny episodes. It doesn't lean in too hard into the Jewish thing, but, on the show. But I know that they're Jewish. And so I guess I didn't try to not be Jewish, if that makes sense. I didn't try to, I've played Italians and Greeks and all kinds of other people and Catholics. I just played an Italian Catholic woman on Abbott Elementary. So it's like, I like to play all these other characters, but with this, I just kind of let my Jew side fly.
it plays into the cultural aspects of it, not the kind of religious.
No, in fact, I laughed because my character she was hooking up with her, boyfriend during Hebrew school and not learning how to be a good Jew. So they do talk about that in one of the episodes.
I think that is what a good Jew is. That's what you do.
Yeah. And I don't think I was hooking up with anybody at Hebrew school because I was really an awkward, in middle school, I was a real awkward kid with frizzy hair and braces. But I do know that I was heavily interested in flirting with all the boys and not at all learning about how to be Jewish.
Well, speaking of flirting, talk to me about John Glazer, and because that's a funny kind of reoccurring thing with him being his character on the show.
What's your favorite thing John's ever done?
My favorite thing John's ever done? I love the one, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's the one where he has to wear the mask the whole time.
Oh, okay.
He's done a lot of great stuff. His stuff is all so unique.
I just feel like he's always very interesting every time I see him. And he's always very different. Like I saw him in Girls. Did you ever watch Girls?
I never watched Girls, no.
Oh yeah, he was in that, and he was Gabby Hoffman's like partner. He was such a weirdo. Anyway, so working with him has been really a treat. He is very, very funny actor, and he's just a funny guy. He's a quirky, funny guy.
Yeah, he's hilarious. Delocated. That's the show.
Oh, right.
It's like 15-minute episodes or something like that. He's really, really funny. He was raised in Michigan. He's from Michigan, so I had met him before. We had mutual friends. Jeremy Jam is probably one of the best on Parks.
And he's doing a really good. The show takes place in Pittsburgh, and he really leaned into the Pittsburgh accent in this show too.
Yeah, his accent, his love for his dog, and his obsession with you. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I love playing the object of someone's desire, even if it's the weirdest guy in the whole neighborhood.
Your characters, I mean, they're so relatable. It's like the episode where you have the neighbors over and you're trying to get in with them with the bachelor because you want to just be part of the group.
Yeah.
It's such a relatable show. It's so funny.
Thank you.
When did you know you were hilarious and wanted to be an actor?
I hoped I was hilarious. I don't know if I knew I was, but I certainly tried to be as a kid, just to we were talking about divorced parents, you try to have some levity and make sure everybody's getting along and everything. And I just didn't like it when everybody was uncomfortable. I just wanted everybody to be comfortable and happy. But I would say, I was so boy crazy when I was a young adolescent, really boy crazy. And I felt like if I couldn't get guys to like me because I was hot, then I was going to have to go another route. And what I would do is make them laugh. And that was very intoxicating for me. And so I think that was like the biggest, most encouraging green light to doing comedy. And then I think I just kept developing that muscle.
Did you do a lot of impressions and stuff with the groundlings, like the ones that you eventually did?
No, you don't really do impressions of the groundlings, which is interesting. It's more original characters. So when I had my SNL audition, I was thinking I would have to, they were starting to do so many impressions at that time that I felt like I should probably, I don't know, I kind of thought of half of them on the plane going there to test for it.
Bitch, please is one of the funniest things ever.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So in terms of dinner with the parents, like what is, I know we talked about Shiva, the Shiva episode, the Passover episode. What I think is so cool about the show is that it takes a lot of these Jewish things and puts a really kind of funny spin on it. And I think it'll be cool for kind of people to be introduced to Jewish things in this way. So
do you have a big Jewish following, a big Jewish audience, would you say?
I don't know. I mean, I'll take any audience I can get, but
yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say, if you do, I was gonna tease that there's this one episode where it might be the finale. There's my character's playing this auto harp. Do you know what that instrument is? You know, it's a very weird instrument. And John Beckerman, the creator, gave me one when we were shooting and said, "Can you learn to play Dayenu on this?" And I was like, "Probably." And I took it home and I sent him a video of me, you know, in my flat in London being like, Dayenu, you know.
Die.
And I went, after we were done shooting, I was at a dinner. I was at a Seder, and where you sing the song Dayenu. That would have been enough, is what it translates to. And there was the host's mother-in-law, who she's like 91 years old, and she started to feel ill, and she had kind of a medical event. Like, she's fine, but she passed out. But the kid's music teacher at school picked up an auto harp and started playing Dayenu and singing it and walking around while an ambulance showed up. And, you know, the paramedics are like talking to the mother-in-law, and you see this woman walking around singing Dayenu with an auto harp. It was almost exactly one of the episodes, and I thought I was having a fever dream. It was so weird.
You know, I got to say, I have the same story. We're at
Really?
We're at Seder. My cousin Josh all of a sudden goes, "Uncle Martin's sleeping."
Oh,
and
no.
he had taken the wine, it mixed with his medicine. My dad got him on the ground, resuscitated him. And I just remember the ambulances coming to the house. And I remember my Aunt Deborah going crazy because, you pull over, right, when the ambulance is coming. But they pulled over in front of the driveway. She's like, ah! And it's like, and so I remember that, like, I mean, that was so long ago, but like, you just reminded me, like, yeah, he lived. So.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, but it was something
really
about Passover. All right. I know I got to get you out of here because you've got a million places to go. So I thank you 1,000 times for hanging out with me. And everyone watch Dinner with the Parents. It's on Amazon Freevee. There's episodes up there now. You can go dive in. It is, I promise you, one of the funniest shows you will watch.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me. And thanks for talking about the show. And I'm so happy you like it. It makes my day.
I don't like it. I love it. And that's
Yay.
100%. 100 stars. All right. How awesome was Michaela Watkins? I encourage you to Google all her Saturday Night Live sketches, dive into some her other work. She's been in so many shows. Anyway, but definitely first, top of the list, Dinner with the Parents. Check that out. It is hilarious. You're going to love it. Well, that was our Passover episode. I'm going to try and find some more folks from the show to talk to. Hopefully, we'll see. I don't know. Will I? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, huge thank you to Michaela Watkins for carving out some time for me. And a huge thank you to all of you for coming back week after week. It means the world to me. And I'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Classic Conversations. If you like what you heard, don't be shy and give us a follow on your favorite podcast app. Also, why not go ahead and tell all your friends about the show? You strike us as the kind of person that people listen to. Thanks in advance for spreading the word, and we'll catch you next time on Classic Conversations.